My name is Alex, and I never believed in ghosts. That was before the night I spent in Cedar Hollow. Cedar Hollow was a small, forgotten village nestled in the heart of a dense forest. The locals spoke of strange occurrences and whispered tales of the supernatural. As a skeptic and a freelance journalist, I saw an opportunity for a story that could put me on the map. My editor, intrigued by the local legends, sent me to uncover the truth. I arrived in Cedar Hollow late in the afternoon, greeted by a chilly wind and an overcast sky. The village seemed abandoned, with only a few houses scattered around. I checked into the only inn, a creaky old building that looked as though it hadn't seen a guest in years. The innkeeper, a frail old man named Mr. Jenkins, warned me about the village's history. "People say this place is haunted," he murmured, his voice barely above a whisper. "Many have come to investigate, but none stay long." I shrugged off his warnings, attributing them to local superstition. After settling in, I decided to explore the village. The narrow, cobblestone streets were eerily silent, and the air was thick with a sense of foreboding. As I wandered, I came across an ancient church, its wooden doors hanging loosely on rusted hinges. I felt an inexplicable pull towards it. Inside, the church was dark and cold. The air was musty, and the faint smell of decay lingered. I walked down the aisle, my footsteps echoing through the empty space. At the altar, I found a dusty, leather-bound book. It was a journal filled with entries dating back over a century. The handwriting was neat, but deteriorated over time. The entries spoke of strange happenings, unexplained noises, objects moving on their own, and apparitions. I spent hours reading, engrossed in the accounts. The last entry was particularly chilling. It described a night when the entire village heard a woman scream coming from the forest. The next morning, the villagers found her body, cold and lifeless, with no apparent cause of death. The journal ended abruptly, as if the writer had been interrupted. As dusk fell, I decided to return to the inn. The streets were even more deserted than before, and an uneasy feeling settled over me. I arrived at the inn just as the sun disappeared behind the trees. Mr. Jenkins was waiting for me. "Did you find what you were looking for?" he asked, his eyes glinting with an unreadable emotion. "I found an old journal," I replied. "It mentioned a woman's scream and her death. Do you know anything about it?" Mr. Jenkins nodded slowly. "That's the tale of Eliza, the village healer. They say her spirit still wanders these woods, searching for justice." His words sent a shiver down my spine, but I pushed the fear aside. That night I lay in bed, unable to sleep. The inn was eerily quiet, save for the occasional creak of the wooden beams. I closed my eyes, willing myself to rest. I was awakened by a soft, distant sound of a woman's voice, singing a haunting melody. I sat up, heart pounding, and listened. The singing grew louder, more mournful. I followed the sound, creeping through the darkened inn, down the stairs, and out into the village.